4 dragons preside over the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. This we know is true. The 4 created 20 dragons of earth and sky, and each of the 4 became part of the world. This we know is true.
The dragon of spring became the wind of magic. The dragon of summer became the sun called Yor. The dragon of fall became the colors of emotion. And the dragon of winter became the moon called Badra. This we know is true.
20 dragons were gifted dominion over land and sky. This we know is true.
And in turn shaped the land, water, sky, and the weather. This we know is true.
Even now the world is protected by the 4 and the 20. This we know is true. Hi everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Breath of Magic. I'm going to say a couple of quick things, and then I'll hand it over to Alice for all of her things. We will be having a slightly shorter episode today because of schedules, and you'll notice that the lovely Bree is not here. She needed to take a health day, and we always support that here on the Academy. And I'll throw it over to Alice for now.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm dying. Maybe it's the infection going around in this world. Otherwise, please check out the links in chat. That includes our Discord. There is a channel purely for this game. So we'd love to hear what you think. Also, if you are looking for a game, definitely drop Scrat a message on Twitter, especially because the new season is coming in very soon. If you've missed out on anything, go check out our YouTube. We do have playlists for this game and all of the others as well. Because Bree isn't here, please go check her out. She's a wonderful human being, and I think Scrat will drop a link to her Twitter and stuff like that in the chat, but definitely go check out the lovely Bree. Also, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Hero Forge, which you would have seen in the video at the beginning. They're doing colored minis and they look amazing. They're doing even extra sort of details and things like that are coming out as well with their Kickstarter that has just blown everything out of the water. Also check out the Deck of Many Things, with the moving animated spell cards, which may be triggered in this game via the hype train. Excuse me. And also, last but certainly not least, Mage Hand Press, which you may have seen us using to play Dark Matter. It's basically D&D in space. It's a wonderful thing. And all of their other modules can be found on Mage Hand Mondays. Otherwise, I'm going to stop coughing and hand over to Mal.
All right, yep, like we said, the very lovely Bree is not here today, so that means our first player and character introduction will be Todd.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Todd. I play Galaran, a once noble, now lost his way mercenary. You can find me at warlordscrusade.com. You can find me tonight at Florida University if you're in town at a seminar at Florida University. A workshop for leatherworking. You can find me the next 2 weeks at the Hogtown Renaissance Fair here in Florida. You can find me next week, all week long, roaming the streets in St. Augustine, Florida, like a homeless person loving life.
That sounds amazing. I wish I was in Florida. And then we'll go to Anik. You're muted, Anik.
How is this? Oh, plugging things in is always a good idea, apparently. Hello, my name is Anik. I'm at Adnister. Normally I'm better at this, I swear. Yeah, I actually have nothing to plug. Just excited to see what happens with this weird black sky whale that's apparently attacking the city we're trying to visit.
And then we'll go back to Alice.
Yeah, I realized I probably should have said it beforehand, but you know, what the hell. I'm Alice. I'm also White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. I have a Patreon where there's some more stuff coming out of it this month. Yes, Mel, I remembered. Look at me go. Also, I play Harper, who is a happy mess, I guess. Actually, she's gaining some form of like control over things. She also has her familiar Kit. And at the moment, the big sky whales are sort of like, I don't think they should be there. And she was very, very happy to argue with a dragon. and win in her head last week.
I'd agree that Harper probably won. And that leaves me, and I never know what to say. I'm Mel. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Malhadale. I run the game here, Breath of Magic. I play in Alice's Amazing Doors of Generic game Monday nights, and who knows what next season will bring. Maybe you'll see me around. All right. Let's get into the recap for the week. After a moment, Galaran addressed the dragon that visited the camp, asking if it's going to follow and help them out or abandon them when they need it most. The dragon claims that it's never abandoned anyone. Galaran doesn't seem to believe it. He wakes up the others, who react to the... Oh, where did my train of thought went away? He wakes up the rest of the group, who react with various levels of excitement and disbelief at the dragon. As Harper and Juniper try and take it all in, Scout moves in front of them all and introduces herself to the dragon. Juniper asks if the dragon has a name that they should, or if they should be bowing, and the dragon replies that bowing is not required. After a moment's thought, the dragon tries to figure out the best way to translate its name, and the closest approximation is Summer Wind, to which Scout and Harper decide they're going to call the dragon Sunny. In talking to Sunny, they discover that he used to have 1,000 siblings, but many were lost in the fight against the Dark One a long time ago. They discovered through talking to Sunny that the Dark One is and is not from Icarus, and he fell from the stars. And once he did, he tried to take the power from the 4 dragons of the seasons. Sunny and his brothers and sisters fought him, and though they stopped the Dark One, many of the familiars or Ryujin were lost. Scout asks what Sunny will do now, if he'll come with them to the city of Bronze Crossing. Sunny says he'll probably travel with them, and if that's their destination, he's likely to stick around. Scout mentions Harper's magic dream. Harper tells her not to go sharing everything with a dragon, and Scout assures her that she's only sharing with this dragon. This leads the party to discuss how uncommon it is to meet dragons, even while adventuring. Harper has never seen one before. Galaran admits that he has, to the shock and surprise of both Harper and Scout, but refuses to discuss it further. Meanwhile, Juniper is wondering how she could go about keeping dragons on her farm. And also, are there dragons of different sizes? Scout asks Sunny about the letter she received. No, that's not right. Harper asked Sunny about the letter she received and asks if the dead can come back, and if the dragons are all-knowing. Sunny tells her that the dragons are not all-knowing, but all-read, and since they collect the stories of the world, they learn through that. Some things are not always clear, time is like a river, and many things flow and change. He has not heard of the dead coming back, although spirits can sometimes return. Scout asks if someone she knows is dead or not. I think that's Harper again. My notes are a little scrambled. Harper asks if someone she knows is dead or not dead. Or no, maybe I have this bad.
No, Scout asked Harper because she overheard Harper asking the dragon about the letter.
Okay. Scout asks Harper if someone she knows is dead or not dead, and Harper answers that she doesn't know, and heads over to Galaran to help pack up the camp. Turning around, she asks Sunny if the group will see him again, and he replies that he has many things to do, but he'll follow the group and help them, and will try to appear to them again. Juniper finds out that there are smaller dragons, and Scout somehow convinces Sunny to let her ride him. Harper watches in concern as Juniper encourages her. Galaran remains away from the group and continues to pack up the camp until he's approached by Harper. Harper asks Galaran if he thinks this is a bad thing, and he states that the dragons are dangerous and that even though Sunny has stated he will follow, that they should not put their trust in the dragon but in the faith of the group. This is a great experience for Scout and Juniper, but it's not something that they should worship. Harper agrees that this is a good experience and that no one saves her but herself. Galaran reiterates that there's nothing that can hurt a dragon, and it's using the party in its quest to learn. Harper reassures him that they will continue to look out for themselves, even if she's not sure how they're ever going to get Scout off the dragon. Galaran eventually admits that he used to worship the dragons as noble beings, and that he thought the dragons were the drive behind the greater good, and that the dragons would always be with them when they went to face the enemy. Harper packs up and carefully inquires about what he's talking about, but Galaran shuts her down. Eventually, Sunny lands to let Scout get off his back. She tells Galaran it's a shame he's too big, because flying around on the dragon might be enough to make even him smile. Juniper asks Sunny about meeting or keeping smaller dragons, while Scout is extolling her dragon riding. Galaran suggests she finds a scribe in the next town to get someone to write and draw the story. Both Scout and Juniper look exhausted, having stood the first watch and having had only a little sleep due to the interruption of Timothy, but the group elects to move on. Juniper makes a half-asleep Scout ride on Ryu, assuring her that adventurers don't always walk. They travel on, occasionally catching glimpses of Sunny. Harper walks along and from time to time pulls out a book, but keeping Galaran's warning in mind, she keeps an eye out. At one point, she pulls out the book and she feels as if she's being watched, even though no one is there. And very quietly, she hears Sunny's voice ask, "Is that him in that story?" Harper lies, maybe, and says no, but if it was, then he isn't him anymore. But what would it mean? And Sunny replies that if it was him, he would understand, perhaps, why he feels the way he does about the dragons. And that he does, in fact, think it was him. In the end, Harper concludes that Galaran is her friend, and that's all that really matters, and Sunny agrees that that's a good way of looking at it. She asks Sunny if he would ever leave the group if they were in trouble, or if he's allowed to intervene if things should happen. Sunny answers that they don't leave simply because something bad happens, and they don't ignore the world if they can help it, but everything requires energy to happen, and there are only so many of them left, and there are so many things that they must do and keep track of. Eventually, seeing how tired Scout are, Galaran suggests taking a break, pretending to be tired himself. Juniper makes breakfast and asks Galaran Galaran asks how she's doing. Considering the fact that she has children of her own, the encounter with Timothy was extra hard on her. Juniper attempts to reassure both him and herself that the kids are fine and they are safe at home. She shows Galaran some sketches of her kids, and he asks her why she's out on the road instead of at home with them. Juniper explains that she feels she owes a debt to the universe, or to balance, or whatever you want to call it. Once, when her children are in danger, some strangers who had no real reason to be nearby came and saved them. So Juniper has taken it upon herself to go out into the world and repay that debt. Galaran states that their paths all crossed maybe for a reason, and maybe Juniper will save them all. Laughing at this, Juniper states she has no skills that do not relate to farming, but Galaran assures her she is doing well taking care of Scout on her first adventure, and being a good listener, and that all of her animals obviously love her. She might, in fact, save them all. Juniper says that would be an honor, even though she's terrified. It is starting to feel like less of a burden. After a short nap, Harper and Scout continue to eat, and Juniper tries to sort out her pack a little better. Galaran is sitting with his sword and just looking at the 3 other companions nearby. And as Scout looks up into the sky, she notices something falling. It's a white and gold masquerade mask, and it lands nearby her. Rushing over, she picks it up and puts it on. Juniper rushes over and accuses Scout of going through her things and taking the mask. And Scout denies it, and as they argue, Scout finds her vision taken to a dark place full of smoke. She appears to be walking down a tunnel, seeing more people wearing masks similar to hers. It's a long walk in a dark corridor, filled with pipes and sounds of clanging steel and steam. When she finds herself in a room with a design on the floor, and a deep voice that speaks, reminding her of Sunny, but bigger and older, and a pair of glowing red eyes as she hears the voice say, "Is everything coming along according to my plan?" With that, she snaps back to camp. Scout tears the mask off her face and throws it away. Juniper tries to stop her from hyperventilating as Scout shouts for Galaran. Juniper goes to collect the mask as Harper and Galaran both rush over, and Scout recounts her vision. Juniper collected the mask and hands it to Galaran, going back to her bag to look at the one she found at Timothy's home. Both Galaran and Juniper try on the mask, but nothing happens to them. Galaran says that they will not consult Sunny, but will continue on as they were. Maybe the one with the glowing red eyes is he who must not be named, because the group forgot his name. And is the one that's making the land sick. Seeing no reason to waver, the group decides to keep moving. Back on the road, Galaran attempts to distract a shaken Scout again by reminding her to find the scribe and get her story written. She asks Galaran if he has any stories written down, and claims he does not, but he would be honored to be mentioned in Scout's tales. Scout mentions Galaran's girlfriend, which appears to be news to him, and Scout confirms with Juniper that Galaran and Harper are clearly boyfriend and girlfriend, even if those two haven't figured it out yet. It's then that Harper suddenly realizes all her little enchanted, crafted items that she sells have vanished. As the group stops for lunch, Juniper attempts to keep the party on schedule, and it makes Harper nervous. Juniper hands out more magic apples for everyone to eat. Galaran asks if Harper enjoyed the book he got her, and she awkwardly reassures him that it's a good book. Meanwhile, Sunny gives Juniper a small silver coin with a dragon's head on it, saying, "This is something to help you. Its power is great, but limited. I know you will use it when the time is right." Thinking back on her vision, Scout wonders if she accidentally joined a cult. With cults on her mind, she suddenly remembers that the other people in her vision all had the same red eyes as the creature that spoke. Galaran has heard of such things, where the followers of a greater being were being controlled by it. They hypothesized that Timothy's family were either cult members or killed because they refused to join the cult. And Galaran reminds the party to stay close and not divulge any information to strangers when in the city, but Galaran has faith in all of them, and so does Sunny. Walking slightly ahead of the group, Galaran finds himself holding a small vial in one hand and an old locket from his past that he thought was long lost. He hears Sunny say, "I don't know what happened, and I can't change the past, but I brought these things to help you, and I hope we can work together." Galaran thanks Sunny for the items, but remains skeptical of the offer to help. And although he doesn't want to be angry anymore, he also doesn't want Sunny in his head. He thanks Sunny, who withdraws and keeps walking, despite looking very much broken for a moment. Juniper sends Rebecca over with the last of the magic apple in an attempt to make him feel better. Galaran suggests they camp for the night and continue on in the morning. After some jokes about the city maybe not being there in the morning, they decide to camp on the road one more night. But as they make these plans, they can see shadows on the ground, and as they look up to see what's causing these shadows, they see whales flying through the air with trails of black behind them. And out of the nearby cliffs where the city of Bronze Crossing is built on, cannons appear. And as the shapes in the sky shoot black lightning into the town, the cannons return fire with balls of colored energy, and a battle starts to rage over the city. And that's where we pick up today's episode after that very lovely recap that I was given by one of my players. So, these large leviathans, flying whales, normally very docile, are en masse over the city. Energy crackles between them, black and purple, and fires down into the city. And in return, the cannons fire a staccato burst. Doof, 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 doof. And the sky is alight with essentially fireworks, is what they look like when they explode.
Are there like people on the Leviathans, or is it just the creatures flying around? Are there like riders?
From where you are, you wouldn't be able to tell if there are riders.
Great. Juniper's just gonna go have a small and fairly silent panic attack. I was not kidding when I said she has 0 skills that pertain to combat. She's just gonna sort of look to Galaran and hope that he knows what to do other than run and hide. I'm gonna start by pushing Scout off the donkey and just hiding her in some underbrush, just going, "You stay there. This is, if you're me, you stay there." Just sort of hide her in stuff. There's no place for children or me. Galaran.
How close are we to the city? Like, is the gate within sight, or?
No, it's still a fair ways off because you knew that you would make it before nightfall, but you stopped shortly after mid-afternoonish. So it's still a fair ways.
We can see the city and we can see the whales. I'm gonna try to look beyond the whales to the cliffs, to the valley, anything. If there's any kind of like army or people marching up as if like on the side, something controlling the whales. Is there anything I can spot at all?
Okay. Give me a... what is it? Perception? No, it's... I forget what it is. No, yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay, I'll use an advantage, okay?
Okay.
So you roll twice?
Yep.
Okay, much better.
Okay. You don't see what you would consider an army, at least not from the outside. It appears that the entire military might that is attacking is the Leviathan horde. It's hard to see what might be going on within the city because the bridge is built between the cliffside, and so from where you are, you can only kind of see like the top of the cliffs where the cannons are coming out of, whereas the city is down in the ravine a little.
I think Harper's looking up at the city and is just like, so now what? I don't know what to do with this.
You and me both. I mean, I hit the kid, but
I just have the worst feeling that what we need to do is in there, and sort of just gestures towards the city.
I'm absolutely convinced that we need to go in there. I'm just wondering if that needs to be now or once this is over, because if the wrong side wins, we're never getting in. But also, there's like combat and energy balls and death rays.
If we're not the ones that... If we don't go into the city now, it could be too late. If we wait until the side wins, there might not be a city left.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
You don't have to come, but there's the possibility there's someone I know in there.
I'm pretty sure I have to come. I mean, I didn't think paying a debt was going to be easy.
I mean, and she sort of looks back at the animals as like, I'd leave the donkey here.
I'm leaving the donkey with... I'm probably going to leave the donkey with Scout, because I don't think Scout needs to be here.
Oh, she's going to be mad about that, but no, I completely agree.
We'll just give her the important job of minding base camp.
I guess that's what we're going to call it. That's what we're going to tell her, right?
Yep. It sounds the most important, right?
And what the hell is happening?
I don't... How about we walk and look? Can we sneak? You know the way. How do we get in here?
At the moment, I think there's so much chaos. I think either sneaking is going to be quite easy, or I think we can just, as much as I hate to say it, walk in.
I can walk. I've been walking for a very long time.
Okay. And then as I think we should do, we stick together.
Fair.
And no matter what chaos is going on in there, we don't separate. That's probably the worst thing we could do, I think.
I really don't want to go in there alone. Sure, let's just start sneaking.
Okay. And she sort of pauses and looks around. I know you said you're not a fighter, as it were, but I'm really not either. I mean, she looks at Kit very briefly, more of a passing glance. I guess there's some things I can do.
I suspected as much.
It's no... whatever that is, and just sort of points up at the sky at these huge things. I
think the only one we have that actually fights is Galaran, and he's already gone full battle mode, scouting ahead or whatever the hell he's doing. I just we gotta get going, or I'm not gonna go at all, and I need to go. So I'm just gonna drop the donkey off with Scout. Rebecca's gonna behave. She knows when things are terrible. I'm gonna leave Ella here as well. Drop everything that makes a noise. Tie shit down. And...
Okay.
Okay.
And she sort of takes a breath. Is like, shall we?
While you're doing all that, Scout probably tries to argue with you, but you eventually convince her to stay.
Yeah, no, there's at this point when even Juniper tells her she needs to behave rather than encouraging her ridiculousness, she might realize this is pretty serious.
I think the main thing Scout would have done is tried to argue that she should come because she could help heal people.
And she is welcome to come into town once it's safe and heal remaining wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't want to survive this and then have Mima kill me.
To be honest, right now, Mima is scaring me a lot more than that.
I know, right? Just gotta stay here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay.
Juniper's just briefly touching that coin and then going, not yet. Soon, but not yet. You know the way. I'll be right behind you.
Oh gosh, okay. And she just starts walking further and just keeps heading towards the city. And it's more of it's not a stride of confidence, it's, oh well, better get this over and done with kind of stride.
I think this is both the bravest and the stupidest thing Juniper's ever done, and that clearly shows on her face while she's following you.
Okay.
All right, so the Galaran, you've heard the two girls elect to leave most of the things outside of town with Scout because it's too dangerous to bring her with, and they are now ready to head towards the city.
Okay. Okay. Just let's be aware that perhaps those things in the sky might be the good things. So let's just be cautious.
And we don't know what's in the city yet.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let us go. Sorry, my voice changed for a minute.
It's the tension of battle, we all understand. Alrighty. This game doesn't have stealth checks, right? Does it?
It does totally have stealth checks.
It does. Am I rolling stealth checks?
If you'd like to, yes.
Okay,
That's
first one
literally
is
my worst stat.
First one is for Gulleran. Did it roll? Yes, it did. And now for mine. Ah, consistent.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you down. Sorry. I'd like to use an advantage because this is gonna be. It's not my thing.
Okay.
Oh, again, consistency.
Very consistent.
Not a nat one.
I always have at least one nat one.
Harper's sort of it's not a stealth as in trying to sneak and not be seen. It's more sort of trying to use the crowds if there are any to get in that way.
At the moment, you're far enough away that if there are any crowds near the entrances, you wouldn't be close enough to use them. But it definitely, at the moment, it's easy to stay hidden simply because nothing's focused on you because you're still a little ways out.
I think Juniper's a little too concerned with not losing sight of Harper to pay attention to actually being stealthy. Juniper, you start to follow Harper, and Gulleran and Harper, you hear this clink of glass as she trips for a moment, and Juniper, you find a small vial lying in the grass. Sorry. Just pick it up.
What is it?
A vial of something. Someone probably lost it before all this started. Just put it in my pocket and keep going. Not give it to Scout because she'll lick it.
Like you do.
Maybe after the battle.
I think Harper's just striding forward, like there's no stopping. It's sort of like, well, there's not a lot of time. So she just keeps moving.
As you all get closer to the city, you can hear the echo of the cannons gets louder, as does the sound of the energy they're firing, the explosions in the air. You can feel the percussive blast of the explosions from this far out. And you also, especially Harper being the most magical of the group, not that none of you are entirely without magic, but you can feel the air is just charged with, you'd almost call it electricity, but you know that it's the magic being thrown around. If it's almost that feeling of if you touch the glass orb with the electricity inside, that your hair almost wants to stand up.
I think Harper probably reacts to it, like every now and then is just shaking her hands off, because when you get the static in your fingertips, she sort of shakes her hands to try and gather some sort of control of it, but she looks back to the others like, there's a lot of magic in the air here, and I know that's pretty obvious, but I'm really feeling it.
I think Juniper's just quiet and keeping close, and I'm not sure which one of you she's closest to, but at no point in time is she like not within touching distance of one of you, and just sort of goes, mm-hmm.
We're gonna be okay. And she looks at Juniper like,
I'm going. I'm still going.
because we got to come back for Scout.
True.
And if we're gone for too long, you know she's coming in.
Oh Lord, probably riding the donkey and swinging Ella. How far are we from town?
I'd say, even though you're trying to be sneaky, you're probably also trying to be quick. So, how do I want to describe? So before you know it, you realize you've reached the elevator into the city. On either side of the cliff is a rectangular pillar where they run. I forget what I wrote it down in my notes, but I'm not going to go look.
A gondola.
It's sort of like a gondola. Yeah, it's like it's very similar to like a mining elevator where it's just like the basket on the back end that goes down the cliffside, but it's like a fully enclosed cage.
I'm just picturing Thunder Bluff right now.
My original thought was I had just watched Lapida Castle in the Sky, and the mining city had a bunch of this kind of stuff, and I was like, I'm going to use that.
Fair enough. I just felt my death in Thunder Bluff a lot when I was starting there.
It's like the elevator from the wall in Game of Thrones.
Sort of, yeah.
All right.
Does it look operational?
Give me a perception check.
Asking questions.
Ooh.
Can I quit? Can I just go home right now? Say,
Is it going up and down? And Juniper's like,
You know, my debt's paid. I'm out of here.
yeah, I'm done.
I have my back to the cliff. I'm going, I don't see you.
I'm gonna take my donkey and leave. Like,
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your donkey.
Everybody get in. Let's go.
I sort of guide Juniper, like,
Get
turn
in
her the
what?
right way round. Get
soon
her
as-
in the lift.
As soon as we get up there, we'll know if the city's safe by uniformed guards, organization, opposed to maniacal laughing, stuff like that.
Is maniacal laughing a thing that
just
we're gonna hear?
Let's hope not. Let's hope that this is the side that's on the right side and not the wrong side.
Yeah, just make sure that the people can actually see stuff. Look for people in white and gold masquerade masks. And maybe people with red eyes.
This could be a city under siege, but it could be a city under siege because the city was overtaken by something, and now they're coming to take it back. So we'll know as soon as we get out of the elevator.
Dude, good guys usually use leviathans that spit black lightning.
Magic's magic. I draw my sword.
Harper puts her hands in her pockets because, again, she's not really told anyone she uses magic. She sort of looks up this elevator. Is like, I hate this city. I always have. Like, she hates cities. She is not a city person.
I'm less excited to go here now than I was yesterday.
Galaran just draws his sword and gets ready.
Okay.
Just in case.
I put Kit in my coat, like literally just like, in you go, buddy. Like,
Yeah,
this
no.
massive coat.
Ella's been strapped into what's basically a baby carrier from the start. It's like her city harness so she can't steal shit.
So before I describe the tower that gets you to the elevator, Galaran, I need you to make me a job knowledge check, please.
That would be Alice, please, if you could roll that.
Oh,
for me.
yes, a knowledge check. I can do that. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Job knowledge. Who is this? That's not me. I can do this. I'm an
It
adult.
shouldn't be you, it should be Galaran.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
These rolls today.
My dunce.
Double fumble.
It's a
The
fumble.
elevator goes up and down.
This group.
Don't forget to fasten your seatbelt.
I'm just picturing Galaran grabbing his sword and holding the pointy end right now and just... You're all the worst. We have a lot of fumble points now. You spent like 4 fumble points. Actually, we 5 fumble points. in the first 10 minutes.
So
this is so bad.
So Galaran, you don't actually know if the king would ever have used the Leviathan. You honestly don't know.
One thing's for sure, if you want to take over a city that's in a valley, you need something strong and powerful in the air. So, using Leviathans, they could be as friendly as the dragons, who knows? They could also be pure evil, trying to kill everybody in the city. We'll see in about 12 seconds.
I mean, you're not filling me with the most confidence, but okay.
So you approach the tower. The doors are open. One of the doors is askew on its hinges. You don't see anything inside. There's no lights or torches or anything. Harper and Galaran, you would expect more than likely there's some kind of electrical power in it. So if it's dark inside, chances are that's not working.
I mean, it might be a good thing that the lights are out.
Juniper, can you light up the sword again?
Get it done. Yep.
I think we're here now. A little is in order to see what's going on. There's no enemies guarding the shaft that we couldn't get in. So, just looking more and more like a city under siege. And I'm going to start trotting, like jogging, conserving, not dead sprint, but conserving, running towards daylight or through wherever we're running through.
Harper has little legs, so she's like, oh god, we're running, and starts to do a mild jog.
Juniper doesn't mind the mild jog. She minds everything else about the situation, but not the jog. What does this town, other than dark, what does the town even look like? Juniper's never been here before.
Okay. You're going to get a description in just a second. Don't worry. Galaran, as you enter the doorway into the tower, the light of your sword lights up. There's it's cut into the stone. There's a set of stairs and handrails leading down to where the basket normally would be sitting. And there's it literally just opens to the cliff, except that they have guardrails because this isn't Star Wars. They're like, we're gonna have safety. Everything's gonna have guardrails.
I love that there's health and safety, even though there's giant whales in the sky. Thank God for these rails. As Harper sort of runs past them.
Yeah, no, those rails are going to be what saves us.
I'm just saying, I'm imagining the picture of in the Death Star.
I know.
There's people standing in that little alcove with the beam to the massive laser that just fires right past them, and they don't have railings. Where's the safety inspector?
Did you see the rest of the construction of the Death Star? Nothing there was planned properly.
Yeah.
It was designed by committee. It's the only explanation.
Whoever built things in Bronze Crossing, they tried to be as safe as they could. So yeah, there's railings open up, and there's and part of the railing is a gate that would open to let you into the basket. But Juniper, as you reach the edge and peer out into the open, down below you, hundreds of feet, stretches out this huge bridge that spans this massive chasm, and on it is the city. It's bricks and wood and metal. There's pipes everywhere. There's steam coming out mixed in with the smoke. You can hear machinery still running even amidst what's going on. And as you look down, you see Juniper, the basket away about halfway between you and the city, hanging at an awkward angle.
So we're hanging, so we can see this bridge and this huge chasm.
Yeah, so like if this is the cliff, you're up here near the top.
Yeah.
The basket's somewhere in the middle, and the city's down where the bridge is.
Okay, then we need to get down to the city. We need to see what's going on at the center of this.
Okay.
What are the rails the basket's on?
They're on. It's almost like railroad track, except straight up, and like it moves with gears that climb up.
So they have lattices where it checks into each one?
Yeah.
All right, like we will have to use this as a ladder. Galaran gets on and starts trying to climb down.
Again, Harper is like, oh god, like if I can see any rope anywhere, I am tying my fox to me. Just
Hold on
like...
a second. Hold on. Which one of you does not think they can make the climb?
Oh, I think I can make it. I just hate it.
All right. Better idea. Bring it in. Group hug.
Okay.
And I'll pull out the vial, Mal, of the levitation potion. Drink it.
Do we
Drink
know
it.
this is levitation, or is this just like something Galaran
Juniper's
knows?
just mentally dealing with the fact that Galaran's giving people a hug.
This is a levitation potion. This will get us down the fastest. Grab tight. Come out.
Wait, what? She sort of pulls Juniper in as well. I was like, okay, but like, wait, what are you gonna do? Like, is this a?
We're gonna levitate down. We're gonna float down.
Have faith,
Yeah.
Harper. It'll be fine. Come on.
Harper, hold this. And he hands her his sword as he grabs both of them.
Okay,
Stop
yeah. She sort of
overthinking this,
holds it. She doesn't do weapons, so she's holding it in the most awkward way.
I'm just picturing the sword here and your fox going, no.
She stuffed the fox like in her jumper, so it's like a head of a fox here. And she's like, okay, now what? And she just waits.
All right, Mal, I'm gonna drink the potion and grab the both of them. And
Okay. So standing by this railing, Galaran downs this potion and grabs the two of you, and Galaran, you feel, and the two of you as well, because he's holding onto you, you start to lift slowly off the floor, and you hover there a few inches off the floor.
And I'm gonna just use my foot and kind of push off and try to will ourselves down, as if I know how a potion of levitation works.
We're just like a balloon. Let's do it. We're like, crap, here we go.
Perfect. Just perfect.
Okay.
If he's levitating, can we, he's hugging us, can we, use our
swim?
hands to or grab the rungs and just hand over hand pull ourselves down?
There you go.
Sure, totally.
Grab the railing and
I'm
just
holding
hand
a
over hand
fox
down.
and a sword, so this
Yeah,
is
no,
on you, Juniper.
You should get one of these carriers I have for Rebecca that you don't have to hold him. And I'm just
I'm not. I'm
continuing
holding
down.
the sword. The fox is stuffed in my jumper.
Okay. Alice, can you please roll a dodge for Galaran?
Mm-hmm.
Anik, I'm gonna need a travel for Juniper. And Alice, I'm gonna need a travel for Harper.
Travel for Harper.
I break again.
I didn't get a
Use
full
advantage.
point.
Nat one.
Just
Oh
take
well, I guess
take
at least
one or
I'm.
two fumble points. We have 7.
I'm not doing well. The thing is, I'm literally. You're doing the climbing. I'm being held onto. I'm just holding myself in the fox. So
Don't drop the fox.
Okay, so Galaran, you manage, before you get too far off the ground, you manage to push the three of you over through the gate, and you start to slowly descend. Juniper, you manage to grab the rungs of the track and not let the group get too far away from the wall. And
sort of float into the next county over.
Get caught by a breeze.
Run away, hot air balloon.
Mary Poppins it away.
Next week in a whole new campaign.
And you do manage to help get the group down by essentially climbing down the. And Harper, you managed not to drop anything.
I know I've got the important bit as I hold on to my sorting box.
And as all of this is happening, the sky is still lighting up with colors. Doo, 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 and the lightning is still being fired down in the city. You can see the a streak of black lightning comes down close-ish to you. It's hard to judge distance a little bit with the size of things. And you see it strike the city, and it sends showers of rock and wood and debris everywhere. But you do slowly start to make your way down the wall of the cliff.
I think Harper's
At
just
least we're
trying to
giving the
look
dragon
around.
a show.
Like, Harper's trying to look around, get a sort of, I guess, bearings on where everything is in the sky. If there's like a definite direction these sky whale type things are coming in from, or can I see anyone fighting back other than the cannons? Like, can I see people?
Give me another perception check, please.
Is it scent? Oh no, perception. There it is. Yes. Thank goodness.
You don't see anyone fighting back against the Leviathans because they're in the sky. It appears that the only air defense the city has is the cannons that are already firing. Down below you, you do see large groups of people running around very quickly. It's not immediately apparent, though, if there's any fighting within the city from where you are.
Can we see anyone, like any people at all, or does this seem to be like an empty city? Can we hear anyone?
No, yeah, you hear and see people. It's just it's not immediately apparent if there's like people fighting people within the city.
Okay. I think Harper's she's just taking in as much information she can before she lands.
And I'd say about that point is where you reach the basket of the elevator.
Okay. Now what?
Let's go around it. Let's keep going.
Chuck the cat.
I'm sorry, she's shredding something behind me.
Yeah, they do that. I get orders to go around, and I shall go around. Keep going.
Right. You start to move around the edge of the basket. The light of the sword makes things a little brighter. And you hear, wait, help me, please.
Get us in the basket. Get us in the basket. Somebody's stuck here.
Back up a little.
Oh, I think Harper calls out, like, where are you? Who are you? Sort of yelling.
So you can see, especially with the light of Galaran's sword, and then the occasional flashes of the explosions. It's the basket's got the solid bottom, and then it's like wire mesh top, so you can easily see into it, and you see an adult male, an adult female, and 2 children.
How did you get stuck here?
We were trying to leave. As soon as the fighting started, we got in the elevator in the basket.
What is going on? What is that?
The woman is holding the two children, and the male, you could probably assume this is a family. I don't know. We're so far south, we figured we were safe.
The only way to assist you in getting down is getting to the controls and get this thing operational again. We'll be back. Juniper, take us further down.
I'm sorry, I'm just doing as I'm told today. And hand over hand, back down. I have no opinion right now.
We'll see to your safely back on the ground. Can't do nothing in a suspended basket.
I'm just Juniper's being like, okay, Galarin knows what we're doing.
I'm not a floating airship. I can't take 4 more people.
Just like come down.
Hi, Captain in the world of yesteryear. The Galaron ship.
Like, is there a weight limit? Can we just like hook them onto your feet or something?
Do you want to test it with this fall?
No, I don't.
We will be back.
I sort of want
an elevator going down. You know when you cross.
I sort of want to see the Iron Man 3 where everyone makes the big circle to slow each other down. Okay. Yep. You descend further. You're probably right. There's not a whole lot you can do. The basket's obviously not moving, and it's not situated properly anymore. Galaron's probably correct. There's not a whole lot you can do. You hear the male try and like yell down at you. Wait, no, come,
I don't know what you want me to do. I'm very sorry. Just hang in there.
Hopper again, just focusing, not. I think she's thinking more than anything, rather than looking around now.
And I will say that a couple minutes later, it's a lot easier to get up and down. It's probably not as fast as the basket itself would have been, but it doesn't take long with the levitation and with Juniper sort of pushing and pulling to guide.
Thank God for these calluses.
And you reach the bottom. The city stretches out before you, and I think that's a good point to take a quick break. We're not going to go to the normal break screen because we're having a shorter episode today, but we have been asked to do a word from our sponsor type spiel. So everyone go check out that amazing Kickstarter for Hero Forge where they're doing the colored 3D minis. They've blown their
it's gone crazy. It's gone over, I think it's like over 2,000%, as you can see on screen now. They're coming up, and there is so many options for these minis, both with details, with color, with just variety. I think there's a few more stages to unlock, but there's so much more detail now, which this video is pretty much showing. I'm not sure if the base is unlocked yet, the one with the fox base, but I mean Harper would like that.
Snooper would like that as well. Also, I never paint minis, so I always have to wait until one of my friends has time to paint if I have a 3D mini. So I'm just coveting these because then I can just use them when they arrive rather than waiting for 6 months hoping someone has time.
Hoping someone's going to paint it. Like,
please, someone paint. I don't have to wait anymore. I can just get them printed and they're good.
And not only that, they do the different brush strokes on it as well. It's not just like block color.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw.
With the brush strokes.
Yep, you can do inks or other types of shading. And all the detail looks amazing.
I just have to be really careful because I tend to go very colorful with my minis, and I don't want them to if they're not renders, they're actual things they've already printed with that. So I need to be careful I don't just go purple, blue, pink, and just sort of tone it down a little.
I like how many different shades there are of like one color as well, that you can have a
Yeah.
dark version, a light version, a brighter version. I also really like that it's, I say not just fantasy, I mean like the medieval style.
And
Like
they
you
have
get the
cyberpunk.
sci-fi. Exactly.
Yeah.
You get all the sci-fi stuff as well, which looks really, really cool. And there's
Also,
more
twice-
races as well
Exactly. Even in fantasy, it was really hard to get like catfolk, and I had some kind of Ganassi or a Triton that still had a tail. Couldn't get it anywhere. You can actually print them with Euroforge, so we did Christmas presents for the whole party, and everyone got a custom mini, and that was just before Kickstarter.
3,000% funded.
Yeah.
Sorry, not 2,000. That's insane.
They were funded in 20 minutes.
I know they're over 1 million now. It's something like 1.7 million.
Did the
Is what
Fox
they're
base
currently at.
unlock yet? Because I really want the Fox.
Not yet. I don't think it's unlocked quite yet. It's one of the top tiers.
Did they tell you who's painting the minis? Who are they using?
As some of them are being painted
Yes.
if you buy in the highest tier, but they have several. They have a studio that they're hiring for this.
There's
And
two
the
studios.
there are 2 studios, and some of them have also added freelancers.
Yeah, there's 2 studios in China that are amazing. War game painting and war dragon painting, and they're like insane.
All right.
They have the ombre hair unlocked. I can make a mini of myself.
I love it.
Yeah, I was actually like, I really like the idea of doing the 3D printed in color, but I want a professionally painted mini too. That would be cool.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the fact that they have actual exotic animal patterns on them.
V's niece says the bases were unlocked at 1.7 mil and they're at 1.75, so they should be unlocked.
Okay, so that should be there. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Are we ready to get back to it then, group?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
I think Alice needs a quick AFK.
Yeah, I'll be back in just a second, but you keep going. You keep trying to sort out that elevator.
Okay.
We're leaving the elevator. It'll be fine.
Yeah, as
So
soon
you-
as we get out, I'm gonna try to look for anybody of authoritative figure, a uniform, anything.
I will
Oh.
be within Galaran's personal space at every point in time. No one's leaving me alone.
I'm gonna roll a perception for you, Galaran. Okay. So your back is to the basket. Behind you, there's a small console, but it's all like levers and this, that, and the other. Like, it's far beyond anything you probably have ever trifled with. But you see, looking out to the city in the other direction, people running around. There's, explosions happening. It's pretty chaotic. But you do notice a pair of people that appear to be dressed like what you would think are a town guard.
All right, I'm gonna Juniper, stay right here with Hoppa, and I'm gonna run towards those town guard.
Okay.
People appear to be town. Oh God, wording. All right.
You run up to this pair of men. They are dressed in, I don't know that you necessarily would remember what the town guard of Bronze Crossing wear, but it's a uniform, and it doesn't appear to be that they're harassing the townsfolk.
What was the name of the King's army I served in? What was the name of it?
Because they call him the Lord of Golden Dawn, it might have just been the Dawn Army.
Okay. You there, both of you. I am Lord Galaran, formerly of the Dawn Army of the King. What is going on?
The younger one turns around, startled. What do you mean, what's going on? We're under attack.
I can see that. Do you know why? Do you know where? Do you know what? Who are the enemies?
The other one, the elder one of the two of them, not by much, but he's obviously in command of this slightly more subordinate person. I don't know what's going on, but those Leviathan are attacking and they don't look right. They're supposed to be docile.
Okay. Is there a magic quarter or a place of known mages in this city?
There are some magic users, but we're primarily technology. We like machinery.
Do you not know of any magical followers, cults of any kind?
I mean, cults. What? I'm sure some people worship the Dark One, but
you're getting sidetracked, soldier. Soldier, you're getting sidetracked. Where is a library, a place of study, a place of learning, any place where a magician would be? For crying out loud.
The younger one starts to speak and the other one holds him for a second with a last I remember there was one place dead center of town, and he points, and amid the rubble and the smoke you can see that there's a thin circular tower.
What were you going to say? And I look at the other guard. Does it look like the older guard is stopping him from talking? Like, don't say that.
It's not really a don't say that, but more of just it's more of like a stay calm type. You can tell that the elder one, they're both nervous because obviously this is a lot of stuff is happening, but
right.
The younger man is obviously like the younger man appears more nervous, even though you can probably guess they're both nervous because something like this would make anyone nervous. So it's
okay. I'm gonna you are both in those uniforms for a reason. You there? Do you know somebody who can work that gondola? You have a family that's stuck in it halfway up. I need them to be brought back down. I look at the little one. Do you know somebody that can work that gondola?
I think I can find someone.
Can you find somebody with haste and make your way over there? See where my two friends are standing, and I point to Harper and Juniper. Right there, those controls. That look straight up. You can see it suspended.
He looks from you to the other one, to the other guard that he's with, and the elder guard just kind of nods his head. Yeah, that's fine. And
you get these people into some sort of secure building. They're running around like a Mass Effect. Where is your commanding officer at?
I don't know. It's been chaos ever since the attack started.
What is the protocol for when something happens? We saw the cannons firing back. Who is in command of the cannons?
They're automated.
They're automated defenses. All right, get these people to some safety and whatnot, and I'll run back over to Harper and Juniper.
While he's doing that, I just want to, have a little... Harper? If the Cult of the Dark One, that Scout had a vision, and it was under this city, maybe, why would the Leviathans be attacking this city? Isn't he already in the city?
And Harper thinks for a moment. I don't know, a distraction? I mean, it's a pretty big distraction. I almost feel like there's something else going on here as well.
So should we be focusing on the cannons and the Leviathans, or should we be looking somewhere else?
And
not get distracted.
Up at this sky, and she's like, I mean, to be fair, I don't know what little old me can do about those.
Me neither, but I know last time my children broke a window, they set fire to the shed to make sure I didn't notice.
Well, then we need to go find the broken window.
Exactly.
And I have reason to believe there's someone in this city that maybe knows more. Is a very, very capable person. And I have a feeling they might be able to help. But I don't know where to start. If anything, it's maybe the calmest place.
The what place?
Somewhere where the fighting isn't happening. Drawing people away from everything.
I mean, scouts saw tunnels. But how do you get tunnels in a city on a bridge?
You dig real deep. Like, she looks like a little bit confused, but she's like, I mean, this place has to have like a sewer system or something. How else does it get rid of everything?
Agreed. I mean, I don't think it just falls down.
Mel, can I look around and see if there's almost like that this fight is a distraction? And is there something that I'm not seeing? Maybe someone acting suspiciously, someone going in the opposite direction to everyone else. So like if there's crowds of people running, is there someone walking in the other direction?
Yeah, give me another perception check.
I can do that. I really can
Nice.
do that.
Yeah, so you notice that amidst the crowds of people running, people digging in the rubble trying to save their homes or their family, you notice every once in a while someone wearing a white and gold masquerade mask very calmly walking through the chaos.
Told you where to look for those masks.
She's like Harper is like doing that sort of, no, I just broke something. Is doing that. I didn't even know it was there. So it's sort of like not hard, sort of hitting Juniper. She's like there, right there.
All right, let's go one of those.
Wait, we need to get him before we lose him. And she's gonna head straight over to this person.
Callahan!
And she's gonna move even before, like, I want to get to this person as soon as possible and as quietly as possible because I want to do something.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
Okay.
And then make me a sense check, please. Okay. So you approach this person. They are walking away from you. They don't seem to notice you. You catch as they turn a corner to move down a side street or an alley or something. Their profile shifts as they turn, and you see this black mass, a blob maybe, with a bulbous nose, wearing this person's clothes and this mask. If you've seen the Witch of the Waste minions in Howl's Moving Castle, it looks like that.
She's gonna try and move to it as quickly as possible. She wants to get as close to it as possible, and she also wants to cast a spell at the same.
Okay.
She's going to cast Winter Sleep, and she's going to try and walk up behind it, and whilst it turns into the alleyway, she's going to grab it round the chest and then put her hands over wherever its eyes would be over this mask and cast it so that it falls back and she can pull it into the alleyway as it falls asleep.
Okay.
There we go. Light won't let me. Hang on. I'm gonna roll. Am I just gonna roll straight up 2d6 because it doesn't seem to do it on the? Hang on.
Did you get some sort of offensive proficiency?
I got a nat. Does that count? Like,
The target gets to roll to see if they wake up, right? You
Hmm.
don't roll. So Mal should be rolling
I
next turn if they wake up.
Yeah, I think based on the wording that showed up in Roll20 that it does just work because you have to spend the MP to cast it. And yeah, it makes checks to try and wake up is what it looks like. So what does it look or sound like when Harper casts this spell?
I think what it is, like I said, she grabs, puts one arm around its chest, puts one over its face, and it's almost like a breeze and like a crackle of when when ice starts to form and sort of starts to crack a little bit, and her hand looks like it freezes along the fingertips for a moment, almost like it's you can actually see almost like what frost, right? And that sort of steam sort of rise off of her hands.
Like your fingers get coated in frost for a few moments, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. While Harper's doing that, Juniper was motioning for Galaran, who had started to walk back. Galaran and Juniper, you both are together as
follow.
Harper.
No, I was doing this and following Harper because, like I said, Galaran already walked away. Juniper's not being left behind. So she is staying near someone at all times.
Okay.
Would I have seen them moving away?
I hope so. I was making it very obvious.
Yeah, you would have seen Juniper been like, "Come on," and then move to follow wherever Harper had gone.
As I started jogging towards them, Mal, was there any other guards on the way to them?
No, because you're still on what might be considered the edge of the city because the way the elevators are set up.
Okay.
So there's before you turned around, you probably saw a couple more guards, but everything's more like deeper in the city where things are happening.
Okay. So there's nobody I could have grabbed on the way back to them?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to run to them. I'm not even jogging. I'm just running.
So I think, Juniper, you maybe see the very end of Harper casting this spell.
Yep.
So she's got her hands wrapped around this person. And Galaran, you join the two of them. I'm going to say, Harper, that the body goes limp in your arms and you kind of stagger for a second because it's a bigger person than you are. And Galaran,
a bigger person than Harper.
Harper appears to be holding an unconscious person wearing one of those masquerade masks.
So go, Winter.
How long can you
nice.
keep him subdued?
I mean, if you want to wake him up, you just have to hit him.
No. I want to go inform the gods of what they should be looking for. Well spotted indeed.
That is not a face. Why doesn't it have a face?
How long can you keep that thing subdued?
And she sort of looks towards him. It's like, as long as I can. It's more that if he gets hurt, if he gets damaged or anything like that, he's gonna wake straight up. This is not a deep sleep.
Okay, try to keep him subdued. I'm gonna go try to grab a god to get them aware of what they should be looking for.
And I'm sort of like looking underneath this mask.
Okay. So to Juniper and Galaran, this looks just like a person wearing a mask. Harper's the only one that's seen what's actually there.
We don't see a blob, we just see a person.
Yeah. Because the way... Go ahead.
Does he feel gooey? Like, does he feel gooey, or is he just look
I'm
gooey?
so glad you're the one touching him.
Like, am I
me.
like, ugh, is he like that kind of thing, or just like you're like, oh, a normal person? I'm like, oh, it's touching me. Like, what?
I think because you know what it is, Harper. You essentially saw underneath the enchantment. It feels kind of like those stress balls. Where it's not like it's not gooey or sticky where it's like sticking to you, but it's that weird squishy. You could squeeze it if you wanted to.
See, as Alice finds that weirdly like like so I sit there poking him like I'm trying to figure out what is he murmuring anything? Is he just fully passed out? Did he look like he was going anywhere in particular?
It definitely seemed like it was walking somewhere for a reason, but being that it's unconscious and as far as you can tell, especially because like if you pull up the mask, other than this nose and the like two pinpoints where the eyes would be that there's not like a face to really read what they would have been doing.
Yeah. Harper looks to Juniper and is like, this thing was going. It was going in the opposite direction to everything else. So there's obviously something interesting in that direction. And I don't know.
We were going to look for people with masks and red eyes when we came in, and I was half joking, but apparently they're being that obvious.
Yeah, but the texture's a bit of a giveaway. She sort of like holds up the arm.
Does
Juniper.
it look and feel like the stuff the trees and plants were turning into? Like the blighty thing?
Yes, I think
I
that's
was afraid
great.
you were going to say that.
I like that idea. Thank you. We're going to use it.
Crap.
Great.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get the DM ideas. I just assumed.
Juniper, now that you're standing there, would you like to you can make a sense check if you'd like to.
Yes, please. 10s. I'll just use another advantage because I'm sick of this and I want to go home.
Okay. So I think
I didn't roll a fumble.
the way I'm imagining this is Harper being like, the texture's a dead giveaway, right? And she's like poking this person. And as you're standing there like, what do you mean? You see that this black blob with a bulbous nose and no other discernible face wearing clothes.
Oh, I see your point. I did not see your point several seconds ago, which is a problem. Like, it looked like a person until you...
So you can't see the...
I can now. I couldn't before. They can look like people.
Well, that makes it worse.
It really does. Should we be... Galaran, while you were doing things with the guards, Harper and I figured that the battle or the attack is probably like a distraction, like putting shit on fire.
I think I already ran away.
Yeah,
like,
he's literally done the turn and
I
walked
came around
away.
the corner, saw something in a mask, put 2 and 2 together, and was like, okay, and went to go inform. I took off.
Yeah,
As soon as I turned the
he
corner.
turned around and went to go find more guards.
Yeah.
Did he leave again? Anyway, should we be leaving this here and moving on? We're still going to look for like...
No, this thing is coming with us. Like, Harper's
I'm not touching that. I am not touching that.
I already have, so it's fine. She keeps dragging it with her.
That's what you say now. Wait until you like dream or wake up or something's gonna happen. You've seen the trees.
I don't have much choice right now.
Oh, I'll just sort of grab it by the... Can I? Oh, I'm gonna regret this. Can I take the mask off?
Yeah.
Why do I do this?
I mean, Harper was already like taking the mask off to look underneath it. The
but
thing...
can I? Does it look clean? Does any of the black stick on it?
No.
Can I put it on?
Sure.
Really? You don't want me to touch the thing and you're with a mask on? Like, Harper is just like, what are you doing?
It went fine yesterday. Does anything happen with the mask on?
From Juniper's point of view, nothing happens. Harper, when she puts the mask on, you see the man that this thing was before you put the spell on it.
I
don't think it does anything.
I rip it off her face. I'm like, no. I don't know what it is. If I've taken the mask off, does the weird bloopy glob man, does he look like a normal person now, or
no?
No, because
why did you? I was trying things.
No, and she's like holding it up, like even though she's got tiny little arms.
Taller than you are.
I know, which is why I'm moving. And she's just like, no, you looked like him. You looked like that.
Perfect. They're like instant disguises. Come on, let's put them on and go down.
Instant disguises? What if it's him taking over you somehow?
Oh, that doesn't happen. That's a fairy tale. Come on, put them on and go on.
And she literally looks up at the sky at the flying whales and is like,
yes, those also used to be fairy tales.
Last time Scout put a mask on, it was like she got transported somewhere else. You do this, and there could be 2 of you.
Last time you stepped on a bridge, it was like you were flying over this city. Are we dodging bridges now?
No, because a bridge is a real thing. Transforming into something. Anyway, I saw the bridge and I avoided it. Like, and she's
No,
like,
you are literally on that bridge right now.
I was. Yeah, she's like arguing with like Juniper in the middle. She's like, you can't put this on your face. We don't know what it will do to you.
That's fine. All right, drag your corpse. Where are we going?
Fine. And she sort of hooks this gooey guy over her shoulder. It's like, this way. And goes to follow Goloran.
We'll leave the two of them there for a moment. Goloran, you've turned around and run. Where are you going to try and find more guards?
There's an inner city trying to find a mass group of soldiers.
Okay, make me a perception check.
You make me one. Actually, I'll just use. How many natural 20s do I have? I gotta find these. I gotta find these guys, and I gotta find them fast. So
you have
two
nat 20s.
I will use the natural 20 to spot them ASAP.
Okay. You managed to find the younger guard that you saw earlier and a pair of what you think are workers. They're dressed differently.
Oh, I was looking for like the group of guards, not just one. I couldn't spot. I'm sure there's a bunch scattered around, but I'm looking for anybody who's like got direction and what's going on.
There doesn't really seem to be that yet. It's been a really short while since it hasn't been that long since you found the first two guards and were like, you go do this, you go do this. So like the older guard is probably trying to make more organization the way you suggested, but yeah, that's going to take time, especially with how chaotic things already are.
Yeah. All right, and if I see him and I look past him, I can't see anything else in the distance or anything. This is it.
I mean, you see, there's still attacks happening. You see the wreckage of the city. You see people trying to avoid being attacked from the magic, avoiding the rubble, digging through the rubble, and you see a couple of guards scattered around trying to help as best they can.
Okay. Anybody that I can get to guard-wise, if I have to go to that little one with the two helpers and somebody else, I'm just going to try to grab more than one guard.
Okay. Yeah. You manage to you spot the guard bringing the workers to the wall that you told them to do, and as you're moving past him, you spot another guard a little bit further into the city trying to help clear some rubble.
Okay. I'm gonna run up to him, introduce myself again, and say, you need to come with me immediately. The attack is happening from within the city.
I think that he doesn't even argue with you when you tell him, you're Lord so-and-so and you're part of the army, this kind of thing. He just stops what he's doing. He's like, yes, sir. And
then I'm going to run to that little one. The other younger guy, we're going to catch up to him. Do your two workers know where that gondola is? We can see it from there, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were headed that way. By the time you get back to them with this new guard, they're there.
Does it take two of you to work the gondola to get it down?
The one's looking at the control panel and one's looking up at the gondola, and they look at each other and they're both kind of like, something happened to it. It's probably going to take both of us. We can't just turn it on. We got to figure out what's wrong and try and, if we move it now, it might just fall.
As soon as you get that family down, one of you should get that family to safety. The other one needs to go to the guards, wherever the head guard is. Tell them the attack is happening from within the city, and tell them to bring as many people to this alleyway, and I'm going to point to where Juniper and Harper had the body, as soon as they can.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell the little one, I'm like, do you want to...
You're coming with me.
I keep saying, and I'm just going to be like, and you're with me. And so the two guards, I'm going to run back to where Harper and Juniper is.
Okay.
I think you walk into like half an argument just as Harper is throwing a blob over her shoulder.
Harper is a blob and like a mask this high in the air. Like,
can I try and grab the mask from Harper real quick?
Sure.
I am carrying a blob man.
There's your two enemies right there. Those two girls. Arrest them both.
I will throw the blob man at them.
Along.
They try to arrest me. I'm throwing the blob man at them.
The way, since there's not really, the way we're gonna do this is, Juniper, I need initiative. Harper, I need dodge.
Oh, we can have a fight? Okay.
We're just gonna see who's faster.
I know it's not me. I know it's not me. Can I use an... No, I'm not using advantage. I'm just straight up thing. I'm carrying a blob man.
You
We tied.
both
Can
got
I spend
6.
a fumble point?
It's just like a slap fight in
Yeah.
the center of a city.
The world is ending, and this is what we're doing
So I
with
turn
our
the corner and I
lives.
see
Swing the
these
blob man.
These two ladies each have a hand on the mask. Is that what happens? I walk up
Yep.
to like,
Yep. You see, they both have a hand on the mask, and Harper's got a blob wearing clothes over her shoulder.
all right.
I need that mask, Galaran. I need to prove a point.
No, stop for 1 second, please. Please.
I need to
Lives are
prove
at
a point.
Lives are at risk. People are dying.
Thank you. Like,
I'm going to turn and tell the 2 guards. These are friends of mine, Juniper and Hopper. This entity here, they're wearing these masks. Can I see the mask, please?
my hands it
He
like
gets the mask?
open like away from. He's not gonna put. You're not gonna put it on, are you? Like
He put on the previous one.
And I'm going to tell the 2 guards, the enemies of the city are wearing this mask. And apparently, do I see a blob or do I see a person?
You see a blob now.
Yeah. This was a person that is now this. So these masks must be enchanted somehow. Which way was this thing heading, Hopper? Down this alley?
that way, and she sort of points in the direction, which is basically
maybe
against the
it's-
flow of the crowds.
Do you think maybe it's relevant for the guards to know that if you put on the mask, you look like the person who was wearing it before you and is therefore an excellent disguise?
Well, they have to know that they can run up and just attack it and not ask questions because it's a blob, not a person, not a citizen.
Are you sure? All of them?
I
You
don't know.
take the
I turn
mask
back
off
to the-
first.
I turn back to the guards and like, I don't know. All I know is that
He also doesn't care. I mean,
your attacks are happening from something controlling those things from inside the city. Chances are it's down this alleyway. The 5 of us can go right now and deal with this, or we can wait for your reinforcements when they get the gondola down, they grab the rest of the guards. Joe City, gentlemen.
Question, and as I'm stood there, what do we want to do with the blob man?
Ian, what do we want to do with the blob man?
Did you kill him, or is he like in a coma, or
No, he's just sleeping.
just sleeping? Right.
I mean, if you hit him, then he won't be asleep any longer, but I wouldn't advise it.
When Scout had her vision, did she not say that they didn't talk? She could just hear them talking, like as if they don't have mouths? We might not be able to communicate with this thing.
No.
Well, I turn to the guards. Time to earn your uniforms, gentlemen. What do we do?
Val, why are you rolling critical successes?
Because he's seeing if the blob person wakes up and his target was a 6.
You have this quick discussion, and Galaran turns around to address the guards again, and as you do, so I'm gonna say, if Galaran's sort of in the middle, his back is now to Harper and Juniper, facing the guards, and the guards' eyes go wide, and Harper, this thing wakes up in your arms, and it doesn't hurt you, but it manages to get out of your grasp in like a shove, but also being a blob, its mass shifts a little.
You just sort of.
Terminator 2's out of your arms.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Terminator. I love Terminator.
And it stands on its blobby legs. And I think we got a fight on our hands. I think you're going to need some initiative.
Hang on. I have it. Where's initiative?
Can I like use the initiative or roll for the mask? No, I'll grab it. I'll make a new one. They'll be terrible. Oh, it's even better. That never happens.
I've gone from like critical
Nice.
ones to critical 8s.
Same here.
Somebody roll for me, please.
Oh
I'll
yes,
roll-
I am. I'm doing it.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Got him? Okay.
Oh.
I mean, that's still good,
Keep
right?
all the good
Seven is
rolls
still
for
a
yourself.
7.
Okay.
Wait, Sunny?
Sunny.
Yes, I have a character sheet for Sunny, but I had it originally just so that I had like all the checks and knew what I was asking you guys to do. So even though it says Sunny, I'm rolling for the
I was
block.
gonna say, is this thing Sunny? Like I knew we shouldn't have trusted
No.
Trek.
No, this is not Sunny.
Hang on, let me put my hair back up for fighting.
Is that Juniper? Just give me a second.
Give me 1 second, guys. Just have to do the hair and the earrings. Someone hold my earrings. No.
I was really hoping the intro music to today's session would have been a Never-Ending Story theme song.
Never-ending story.
I can't use that. That's copyright.
Scout flying around on the luck track.
Yeah, I think though, because Galaran, you have to leave in 20 minutes, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna end a little early. I'll mark down whose initiative is what for next time, and we'll end here before the fight because I don't know how long this fight's gonna take.
We can take him in 20 minutes.
Damn, how strong is this thing?
Is this? I feel this is stronger than an egg person.
This could be the leader. You could have grabbed the leader, Harper. You could have just sacked the leader right off the rip.
He
Go to
just
sleep.
one-shot everything.
Boom, fight's over. Wrap it up. Good campaign, everybody. Force the team.
Whales fall from the sky. Okay.
If this is the leader and we end it now, Scout is going to murder all of us and not Mima. She wasn't there.
There's always a bigger fish, right? There's always a leader. On
Literally.
I'm just waiting for us to go down into a basement and find Scout as the cult leader, planning all of this from the start.
Stop giving Mal ideas for the love of everything.
I gave him one tiny suggestion today.
And look what happened. Okay.
You just Peter Venkman this entire thing. Like, is it a steak plus marshmallow? Oh, it's a steak plus marshmallow.
Yes, you Venkmaned it. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you for that, Mal.
But I'm not here next week. I won't know what happens.
I'll carry you. It's okay. I've carried a blob man. I'll carry you.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Scout will show back up.
I'm in the same situation next week as well, so we'll have to play. I'm sorry. I'll do my best.
You're all good. You're all good.
I have 1 more week away, and then I'll be back home to stable internet, secure house that apparently doors open for no reason.
I mean, other than that one drop, you've been pretty good. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent hotel Wi-Fi. I've had way worse.
I turned everything off, like disconnecting my phone, no back screens, no Roll20, nothing's up. Nothing.
I like how the world is pretty much ending around us, and this was easily our least serious episode as players.
It's in the middle of a war. We'll see what happens.
Do that. Help these people.
Sorry,
They've been
wrapping
running around
up.
for like 20 minutes. The fight started 20 minutes ago. Why are these people still running around the street?
It's okay. I rugby tackled a blob man, so I'm going to see what happens with that next week.
Now, how long did it take us from when we saw the whales to get to the city, to get inside?
Yeah, how
2
long
hours?
Did that?
it was probably a couple hours.
So people were running
2
around the
hours.
streets for a couple hours. Like people couldn't find a place to hide in 2 hours.
Panic.
He did
That's
say
what
they were
happens,
digging
chaos.
people out of rubble, so they probably found a place to hide. It collapsed on them. They had to dig their way out, find a new place to hide. It collapsed on them, etc.
All I can picture is that episode of South Park when like the guinea pig was running around, and the people were all running around the street.
It's all
Couldn't
just
find a place to
whales
hide.
and stuff as well. Anyway.
The guinea pig with the pirate hat on.
Anyway, please check out the links coming up in chat now. That includes our Discord. There is a channel purely for this game. And also, if you would like to come in and play a game, please drop Scrat a DM on Twitter. If you've missed anything, go check out on YouTube, as all the games go on there in playlists. A huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Hero Forge. As you saw in the break, they're doing some amazing things with minis right now. Also, the wonderful deck of many, which we didn't get to draw from this session, but oh, okay, this one still feels pretty appropriate. The moving magic spell cards. And they also did one of the most wholesome games in the world, which is Humblewood, so check that out. And last but certainly not least, also Mage Hand Press, where you can see all of their modules in play on our Monday show in Mage Hand Mondays. We are currently on Pirates. So pirate shenanigans are always a good thing. So until next week when we fight Blobman, I'll see you later. Bye.